Alright guys, welcome back. This is Shadow Drake. I have french fries now, so I can have higher quality food so I don't need to eat and drink as often. Well, drink as often. Alright, so let's get back to this. So, donning my suit. Oops, I need to refill that. Dang it. Go back in, go back in, go back in. I need more volatiles. The last thing I want to do is run out of volatiles while I'm out there.
Airtime critical.
There we go. Alright, so I got the solid fuel generator. I got the microwave power receiver set up on this end. So now it's just a matter of let's go out there and fully finish setting up the base. So I printed out the stuff that I needed and hopefully it won't take too terribly long. Probably could use another battery, large. I'll print it and then I'll take it up there later. Anyway, so I got all the stuff I need. I need a deep miner, I have some chutes, I have some electronic parts, I got a lot of steel sheets. I see you. And let's get this going. So let's get this and head out that way. Whee! I'm so glad I put the beacon out there because now I know exactly where it is. And at daytime I can see where all my little gopher holes are that I need to fill in. That's gonna be a chore when I have to go and fix all of those. Alright, so probably the easiest thing that I should do is set up the receiver, and I think I have a straight line of sight from the base to this one. I hope I do. That should be the first thing I set up. Speaking of which, did I actually even get to bring that? Yeah, it's right there. Wait. Transmitter is 3 electronic parts, and I need, I think, 4 for the... Dang nabbit! I forgot to get enough electronic parts, because the deep miner needs... So 3... The deep miner needs 4. I need 7 total. And I only brought 5. I knew I forgot something. Again. This is just Shadow Drake going on casual drives. Back and forth between the coal power plant and his base. Alright, let's get the electronic parts. I know I got some. I will eventually need to fill out the entire base. It's gonna be like a whole building thing. 3 and 4. That's actually just barely enough. That's running. At what speed? Oh, barely any. Alright, so I made mention that I will probably chill that. I think once I get this going, then I'll do the rocketry, and then I need to start to set up the atmospheric so that way I can regulate my greenhouse so that I can properly empty out the oxygen and properly fill it back with nitrogen and carbon dioxide. Because I do want to create a stable gas loop where I start to throw in the biomass to be composted to get nitrogen for my soybeans, as well as nitrogen for cryo cooling, because I kind of do want to have that for emergencies. Alrighty. First things first, let's get the power transmitter. I need the data to face this way. I think right here. It's gonna be in the air, but that's fine. I'm gonna put I need frames. I need my dose. Got it. Okay. Now, what I don't remember is I don't think I have a weather alarm here. I did not bring the iron sheets. Oh no. Just charge that. Let's go get the iron sheets. Be right back. Alright, we got the iron sheets. Eventually, I will actually, I don't even need that. Interesting. Do I just need to do that? Yep. Interesting. Okay. Alright, so that's squared away. Let's charge this battery, because might as well. Okay, so now what I need to do is I'm gonna go on ahead and get the IC10. The logic transmitter is in my inventory and the IC housing. Now, technically, I don't really need to worry about this part too much, and I do have my script, so let's go on ahead and there's something I completely forgot as well. I don't have heavy cables either. Ah! Okay. There. I have just enough stuff. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I do want to I want to automate everything. I want to get the vending machine automated for the solid fuel generator. I want to get the deep miner automated. I want to get the centrifuge automated. So it's gonna turn into a code heavy session. And then the thing is, I had a storm fairly recently, so I want to say that a storm is gonna happen soon. And you know, I kind of wanted to have that whole station battery be the catalyst for me to go back to the base to check for the storm, because I don't think I have a weather alarm set to my hard suit just yet, harm suit. So, oh, that's already a 50%. So let's go ahead and get this set up. Steel sheets first. Then it's electronic parts. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this set up. Okay. Alright. Now, the actual things that I need to get done is send power that way. If you can hear my cat in the background, she's going nuts right now. Alright, so I got power here. Now let's go ahead and get the data going here. It's going to be temporary. This is going to be a temporary line because I'm going to remove it. It's not necessary. Alright, so let's get it set to the receiver. Receiver base. Turn it on. If I remember right, it's transmitter and then receiver and then power transmitter. So let's find that code, which I saved to the library. Should be this one. Yeah, this should be it. Is this the one that actually sets? Hold on. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Ah. but I didn't have it fully set up because I needed to do SPR11 horizontal R2 SPR. Hold on. Subtract R3 180 R3 and then SPR11 vertical R3. But since that was not the right, if I remember right, it was -90. Yeah, it was -90. And once this is set up, then I can just shut this down. Because when I go down there, I gotta create the logic over at the base to properly turn it on or off. There we go. But before I do that, I want to know exactly how much power is actually going to it. So it's not 4.92, it should be 3.92. Oh, is it really 4.5? It's 4.5 to the base. Is that really what I'm sending? No, that's this is charging the battery. I forgot about that. Okay, that's my configuration. What am I sending? Power actual 3.5 kilowatts. That's actually quite a huge chunk of power that I am sending to the base. Alrighty. That works out really well for me, to be honest. Alright. So now that I got that squared away, I can go on ahead and remove all of this because I don't need that anymore. It's set up. What I need now can I fit another battery right there? It's I think I can, yeah. It's gonna look so stupid, but I need this right here. I'm gonna go on ahead and move this out through here. And then I gotta begin putting this out that way. So what I want to do, I do have to get everything hooked up so that this IC10 can control everything. Okay, this power transmitter doesn't need to be used anymore. However, this can, I guess I'll just put you right here. If I was any sort of a smart person, I would actually try to get the deep miner operational first, but you know, I'm sometimes not. I don't do things in a very logical way half the time. Okay. So here and stacker. Can I do this version? Yep. And I think I need some plastic sheets, which I'm pretty sure I brought. For once, I actually am not a dummy. Alright, now one of the things I'm concerned about the vending machine is there seems to be kind of like this weird little bug with the vending machines in that for some reason I can't seem to connect this correctly, but for some reason they tend to output their stuff way up top. So like so I got this right here. Got it, right? I got a vending machine in here now. It goes in there. Okay, so it's not how I expected that to go, to be honest. Okay, let me just put the other solid ingot in there so that way I can have something. Alright, because I don't have any storm system stuff set up, I'm going to turn this on, head to the base, verify that there is not going to be a windstorm, because if there's going to be a windstorm, I gotta wait it out. And if there is going to... Yeah, if there is a windstorm, I gotta wait it out at the base. I don't want to lose my rover with stuff in it to a windstorm just yet. And plus, while I am here, I can turn off the power receiver. Alright. Green. No windstorm. Good. So, as far as the game goes... Okay, before I do that, let's see. Yeah, 5 kilowatts of power. So I am quite power positive that this gas fuel generator should not be running. So let's go ahead and shut you off. And go back to workout over there. So yeah, 3 kilowatts doesn't seem like much, but you know, the thing I can do with that is that I could add yet another power transmitter, another power receiver, and change it from what 3.5 kilowatts to 7 kilowatts, and that's basically a Stirling engine's worth of power generation constantly from something that makes a ridiculous sum of power from the solid ingots. So now that I got that linked up to the base, now it's time to actually get this going. But I have to be a little bit more careful just to make sure that I have plenty of space for the centrifuges. Centrifuges, they're not gonna be that bad. So maybe like, okay, why don't, so let's say I want a 5, a 3 between the centrifuges and that. You know, I'm gonna put a centrifuge right there, just to kind of do that so that I can essentially mark mark the distances. What is it? Hold on. Sorry. So, with that in mind, I'm gonna have to excavate over here a little bit. So that I can actually build a proper floor. Alright, so... No, did that organize... I hit the organization. I forgot there's a sort button now. Okay, so what I want to do is a fairly simple floor right here. Probably extended this far. Then a deep miner. Over here? Oh boy. I want it this way, yep. Well, hold on. I don't really need to worry about the deep miner being too far. You know, like I can put it right here because I'm only intending to do the one. It's really weird to have a deep miner just kind of stuck in the ground like that. Alright. Alright, so the first thing I need to get going is the deep miner. Where is my welder? Right there. Let's get the deep miner constructed. Cabled and wired. because it needs to just go on ahead and start producing. And yep, I just realized this is going to be digging. So I'll save. I'll turn it on, and then I'll basically have to save again at some point, and hope that my game doesn't crash in the middle of me working on this video. To be honest. Okay, I need cable coils, the screwdriver. Now I need electronic parts. Alright, now I have to get a deep miner going. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and save my game right here, because like I said, the deep miner for some reason has this weird little thing where it likes to crash my game. So while that's doing its thing, let's go on ahead and plan out the crowbar to deconstruct. Ooh, that's weird. Alright, so as far as electric centrifuges go, I think I'll have one right here. Let's put the next one right here, and the next one right there. Let's go on ahead and, I think it's welding. No, it's a wrench. Shows how often I've made these things, to be honest. Now it's the welding torch. Alright, now I gotta cable them up. I'm gonna go ahead and start you just so that you can begin spinning up. I don't really like these much. I mean, I've already made it clear that anything that uses a lot of power, I tend to try to stay away from if I can do better. This is one of those rare cases that the centrifuge is worth setting up, because it has the innate advantage of do an overflow. It has an innate advantage it has an innate advantage of the fact that, how do I rotate this? I do it that way, yeah. It has an innate advantage of the fact that it can, this is not going to be very power costly. Uh, just because, I mean, I'm making a ridiculous sum of power from the solid fuel generator, so it's just not going to be, crazy power cost. Okay. I'm really hoping that I got enough of these. Okay. It's the first one, and I believe a 3 will work right here. And a 3 will work right there too. Alright, so you're gonna be called Cent 1, Cent 2. Well, actually, this is Cent 2, and this is Cent 3. The naming really honestly doesn't matter. Oh, I may not have enough. Okay. This is a junction. Can I put this right next to it? It seems like I can. That might work. I might need more chutes. I really don't like how many chutes are needed.
Hunger caution.
Oh, that's not gonna work. This needs to be a straight. I don't like how many chutes we use overall, because it is a lot of them. And look, I'm basically maxed out on chutes, and I need one, 2, 3. That's a problem. Okay, fine. I really wanted to have. I do want the windows. Let's go get some windows. I'm gonna turn you on for a little while. I'm just gonna close you up. Okay. So what's the goal here? I'm gonna save again. Once this starts generating deep miner ore, this first one is going to start processing it. I opted not to do a stacker because I just wanted to get processed by this. So what I'm gonna have to do is some very heavy automation to turn on the solid fuel generator for to charge up the batteries up to a certain percentage. And if this doesn't have any ore, it's going to vend it from the vending machine to fill the solid fuel generator. So that's going to be the very simple part. Gotta watch the battery status, add extra fuel as needed. So that'll be simple. If the vending machine is full, and I believe the vending machine small can only hold 10, so the vending machine small can hold, ugh, that is disgusting. 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 items. So when the vending machine small is full, 12 items, then it's going to turn off the deep miner because might as well start saving on power. And then the final thing I got to do is make it so that the centrifuges regulate when they're going to be coming on, off, and unloading. So, and that is also once again to save on power. So this is going to be a power heavy, code heavy session because technically everything is done, with the exception of the fact that I ran out of chutes. So I gotta go print out a couple more chutes. I basically only need 2 more chutes, so let's go back to base. And actually, while I am there, I think I might just make a little bit more, I might degas some coal and go on ahead and make a little bit more solid fuel. Because I don't want it to run out before it has made any. And, yeah, I really don't want that to happen. I don't know how long it'll take for the base to actually make some. Shoot. So let's go on ahead and just make another 70. So we'll degas this. And I'm being extremely careful with what I use. Just because... Okay, I added some iron here. Do I have enough for 2 chutes? Yes, I do. I did not need to do that. Oh, that is a... Stop it! Okay. Can't believe I just undid a whole lot of stuff right there. I just realized something. I have some centrifuges over there. I could just process them at the centrifuge. Uh, let's refresh myself and probably wait for the new day because I want to see if it's gonna be once again a storm. So I'm trying to be a little bit mindful of my rover. I could just build a garage over there or just like a room for it. Alright, the heal pill. And see, this is why tier 4 foods are good. I basically eat and drink at the same time. Uh-oh. Crap. Thank you for having a utility kit right here. I completely forgot about the fact that I'm making a lot of shower water, and I need to process that. It's 3. Okay. I really do need to process that thinking about it. I'm at the point that I could just do that. Alright, what do I got for stuff here? And if you don't know about the quick harvesting thing, it's if you hold Alt, you just basically quick harvest. Alright, with that, I should have enough flour. Basically make a bread loaf. 2 tomatoes and I can make a burger. Wait, do I have tomatoes? The answer is yes. Shadow Drake has 2 tomatoes. I am no longer gonna be eating junk. I am going to be eating the prime foods. Burgers. Burgers. This is essentially fast food. I'm literally eating burgers and fries. That's quite literally my meal. Burgers and fries. Alright. Okay, back to what I was doing. I got shoots. I probably should make like an input and maybe do I want to do like some coal mining so that I think that's kind of pointless. The centrifuges will start handling that. No need to complicate things, to be honest. Then I will do heavy duty rocketry. Okay, it's a new day. Still green. Let's go. I have burgers and fries waiting for me when I return. And I can make some extra solid fuel ingots. So the first thing that I will need the IC to handle is making some solid charging up the base, the batteries up there. I'm trying to decide what's a good value to let them drop down to before it just turns on the solid generator. But yeah, are you centrifuging yet? No, you're not centrifuging yet. You haven't gotten anything out yet. This is completely degassed, so if it's not, I just screwed everything up. Perfect. So I got 72 in there, I got 25, and I got a 50 in there. Okay. So let's assign my stuff. So first things first, I kind of want to. This is going to be for the solid generator. Generator solid fuel. Generator solid fuel, got it. Next one is going to be the deep miner. No. Vending machine, small, deep miner. Those are the three that I am going to use. Okay. So this is going to be the solid fuel power plant manager. So alias SFG D0 alias Vend D1 alias deep mine D2 define and centrifuge. I think I need this. Sense. Uh main and yield J main. So here's the thing. So alias SFG on R15 alias DM on R14 alias. What does the vending machine need to vend? I don't think it really needs anything. I think it needs to be like just request hash. Okay, so solid fuel ingots. This one. Uh, define solid ingots. That one. Okay. All right. So, oh no, define LBATs, large batteries. Large battery. There we go. Okay. So first things first. SFG on. SFG on. So the simple thing for this is I need to do a Schmidt trigger. So what I need to do is load batch LBAT to R0 LBATs, and let's do ratio average. That way I know the minimum amount of power. So now I do SLT R1 R0 and let's say 33%. When I'm less than 33% power, I want those to turn on. SGT, R2, R0, and let's do 90%. So once they're at 90% charge, I want them to stop. I could go further than that. Let's just do 92%. So now I do select SFG on R1. If it's less than, then I want that, or otherwise keep SFG on, select. G on R2, 0 SFG on. So that handles that. That's literally, this is the turn on solid fuel generator. That's the very simple one. It turns it on or it turns it off. So what I am going to do, I am going to go on ahead and remove this and this. And let's just do SDB setting R0. I want to see what that ratio is. Alright, so it's turning it on. I expect that. Are you sending out? You're still not sending out anything. It's fine. What I don't know is if I'm actually going to be able to fully power it up based on the existing solid fuel generator. I think 92% is a good marker to be at, just in case I do have a stretch of nothing. Now when I have 12 solid fuel ingots in the vending machine, I think at that point it's just going to be, you know, I should have plenty of power. Because, I mean, that's 500 grams of solid fuel ingot. 500 grams times 12. That's an insane amount of power. If I have that much in this vending machine, I'm literally, I literally have enough power for days. So now I'm waiting for this to turn off. All right, turned off. All right, good, perfect. How much is left in here? 34. Okay. Now I'll head to the next part, which now it's going to be 45%. So it's not going to have enough. Well, it's not going to be enough to trigger. So what I am going to do is let's just move SFG on 1. I'm going to force it to go on at the very beginning. So now it's vend ingot to SFG. So, okay, it's going to use the last little bit. Oh no. Alright, let's use the last little bit. Now, this is where things are going to get a little bit tricky. I need to solid fuel generator. So it's got a logic slot for occupied. So I need to read that, and if it is not occupied, I need to vend a single ingot. So let's see. LS, I'm not going to be concerned about that. LS R0 SFG 0 occupied. BNE BREQZ SFG on. We're just going to skip 10 lines. We're just going to go to end for now. So if the solid fuel generator is off, I'm going to skip the whole vending machine logic. So now I'm gonna read. Press the Windows key. Press the wrong key. So if BRNEZ R0, we'll skip 3 lines. If it's not 0, then what we're going to do is set vend. What is it called? Vending machine? Vending machine small. We need the request hash. We need to request the solid ingot. And we're going to do a yield. Nah, we'll just leave that going. One sec. Sorry. Okay, so to explain my thought process, this is the whole solid fuel generator coming on. I want to send a single solid fuel ingot to the solid fuel generator when it notices that there is not one there. So that's what this whole logic is for. So if the solid fuel generator is not gonna need to be on, then there's no reason to worry about this part, whether it's occupied or not. If it does need to be on, then that's when this is gonna trigger. So it should be 0 right now because there's not in there. And this branching says that if it's occupied, it's just going to go ahead and skip this. Probably need to define this to 2. So just skip 1, 2. This is going to go to the end. So this should vend 1 to it. There it goes. Perfect. Now that that's out of the way, maybe I need to put some. I mean, this is going to have stuff. It's if it doesn't, then I'll be surprised. Can you please generate some dirty ore? All right, so now that we got that going, now let's do deep miner controls. So now the vending machine has a quantity value. So now we're gonna load to R0 from vend quantity. And I'm gonna need the configuration tablet to help me diagnose this. So the vending machine quantity is 1 because only 1 slot is filled. It's still filling up, right? Yes, it is. It just didn't look like it. Now, still not doing anything? To make sure that I don't overproduce, because I really don't want to overproduce. So we're going to load the quantity. SLE DM on. So the deep miners will turn on, deep miner on off. So the deep miner will only turn on if R0 is less than, in this case, 12. But for simplicity's sake, I'm gonna put 1 and test it. So it should turn that off completely, and I will see that go off. It did not, and I know what the problem was. I completely forgot to do S deep mine on DM on. I forgot to do that. Now it's gonna turn off. Hold on. No, SLT. See, I still make mistakes. This is why I like to check things. So now it's off. And if I tell this to vend, it turns on. Perfect. Okay. Now that that's settled, let's do SLT for 12. So basically, 12 means vending machine is full, stop producing. So, okay, we got that squared away. Okay. So while that's going, that's powering up my power plants. Are you making anything yet? Uh, how deep is this shaft? Oh wow, that's very deep. All right, so now comes the other thing. Now this is the part where I'm going to be using some stack related stuff. So I need to know the reference ID. So 1EFD1. So initialize the centrifuge controls. So this one's going to be simple. We're going to need the centrifuge ref ID, and we're going to need a force on, force open state. There's a reason for that. What I want to do is cycle through the electric centrifuges, and if they are full, I will toggle a force open state to force them to turn to open up. And yeah. Otherwise, it's just gonna this chip is just going to be watching over them. What I'm gonna try to do is get this working. This is gonna be the hard part. I'll get it working on centrifuge 3. So centrifuge no, centrifuge 2 is gonna be my test. So you're gonna be my test. So centrifuge 2 is gonna be my tester. Centrifuge 1 is going to be the one that's going to be grabbing all the stuff for the time being. Wait. Yes! Alright. Saving the game because if my game crashes, I want it to crash right here as I'm getting dirty ore. So 1 EFD1. So push dollar $1 EFD1, and this is cent 1. Push 0. Force open 1. Now I need to grab 2. 1 EFD. Is it 8 or B? I can't tell. I think that's a B. D1, D9, DB? D9, DB? That looks like a B. 1 EFDB. Dollar. 1 EFDB. Push, and I remember that one. 1 EFD9. And we're gonna push 0 and push 0. This is initialization. So this is cent 2, and this is cent 3. Now, I am going to alias cent. I think I'm just going to do SB cents on 1, just to initialize them on, and SB sense open 0. This is initializations, so they're all going to be on and they're going to be 0. Sense ID R13. Okay. Push, 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 push. And then alias SP max R12. Move S to SP max SP. So that gives me the maximum amount of stuff I push in case I decide that I need to work with more of the stack. And then I'm gonna define iterations. No. Index. No. Index. 2. No. 3. 3 centrifuges. Actually, I don't think I need that. I don't need that. Okay, I'm going too crazy. This initializes my stack controls. And then for simplicity's sake, I am going to move SP. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need move SP3 and then pop sent ID. This should get me the centrifuge ID, and then I am just going to S sent ID on to 0. That should be 2. Yep. Perfect. Okay. Now here's the thing that I'm wondering about. Opening. So alias sent on R11, alias sent open R10. Alias loop R9. Yeah. No. SP max, or is it, what is it? What did I call SP max? That reinitializes the loop. Okay, so I want to say if I yeah, this is tough. So I'm going to put a single coal in this one. So it'll process it really quick. So I have a single coal in there. I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to pull the lever. It should open, right? Okay, it needs to be stopped before it can open. Okay, perfect. get you back in there. Let's go ahead and get you started again. Okay. Now here's the thing that I want to do. I want to look at the slots. Let's get my loop set up. This is the hard part right here, where I gotta get my loop completely set up. I forgot about another thing. Cent ID alias f open. F open CF open R12 R11 R10 R9. Okay. So here's my loop. So if BEQ CSP go to 0, go to end. So what I want to do is pop. First is CF open, and then pop cent ID. So this should get me back. This should get me the ID and open. So it should just give me, the way I have it right now, it should just be 1EFD1, whatever that number is. So that's kind of an annoyance that I'm gonna have. If there's a problem with it, this will overflow, which it did not, so it's okay. Let me put that back for the time being. That's the wrong one. I need a window chute. I am really firing my brain on a lot of cylinders here right now, so I am... Oof. Alright, I'm firing my brain on all cylinders here, so here's what I want the centrifuge to do. I am going to load slot to R0. Cent ID occupied. Centrifuge. See if it's occupied. If so, set if not equal to 0, R0, R0. So basically, if occupied, be 1. Right? No. No. Check to see if occupied. S cent ID on R0. I don't know that will work. Yeah, invalid integer line 45. That's kind of what I expected. Because I don't think load slot works with SDB settings cent ID. I don't think load slot works with that. 112.6, 937. That should be 0. Yeah, that's that one. 112.6, 937. Oh, hold on. I forgot one important thing. BNE, BRNEZ. Hold on. Loop. BNEC SP loop. I never checked that. That sucks. I can't use a load slot. There we go. That's better. I can't use a load slot? Oh. Yeah. Hold on. 126929. 126929. That's this one, right? 126929. Okay. Hold on. Load slot to R0 126929. 126929. Oh, 0. Oh, that's what I did wrong. I did. Okay, hold on. I had the parameters invalid. Yeah, I had the parameters invalid. I'm a dummy. But you're... Oh, you all have stuff. Okay. Right? No, you don't have stuff. You shouldn't be on. Do I have that incorrect? No, I did something wrong. Again. I did something wrong. Something is not right. It's not doing anything. Okay. It should be constantly cycling through the stack pointer. So there's something going on. Let's see. I did ls. Ugh. No. B not equal to 0 is correct. Once B equals Z, it's not right. You should be looping through the stack. Okay. SDB setting SP. I want to see what's going on here. Not looping through the stack. So now you're 6. You shouldn't be 6. Well, actually, yeah, you should be 6. Alright, I gotta be a little bit tougher on you then. I gotta put some delays here. Something is not right. I'm not doing something. I have a branching somewhere. Ugh, this is a pain in the butt. I broke it somewhere. Okay, let's take a look see. This shouldn't break anything. It's this. This is what's breaking it. We go to loop. That's what's breaking it. Because, yeah, that's what's breaking it. Ugh. There we go. There we go. See, okay, the hard part about IC10 programming is you gotta figure out where you made mistakes, and that's where you gotta fix stuff. Now this should completely control my centrifuges. Should be looping and controlling them, yep. Okay, perfect, that's what I want. If they have nothing in them, it should open them up. Now, really? Okay, fine, fine, fine. And that turned on. Yay! It did what I wanted it to do. Okay. Okay. Now that it's cycling through the centrifuges, now it's kind of time for the open. Okay. This is going to be the harder part for the open. So now we're going to do LR0 cent ID reagent. No. Reagents. Yeah. Reagents. And I got to do basically a No, 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 no. This is not going to work. No, what I'm thinking is not going to work. I got to rethink this through. All right. I'm going to have to call it here because I'm pressed for time, and I also need to check to make sure that the we're not going to have a storm. I got to rethink this through. I got to rethink the whole looping thing, and then I'll be back once I get that working because oh no. Okay. The thing that I have to be concerned about is I have to push that force open state back to the stack. But the way I have it is going to loop through, but there's no way that I can push a value back in without breaking something. So I need to reorganize my stack, and I need to rethink how I'm going to be doing that. I think I know how I'm going to do it though. Yep, storm's coming. I knew a storm was going to happen soon. Alrighty guys, so next time we come back, it'll be after the storm. Oh. No, I just thought I saw yellow when I did not. Okay, well, when we return, I am going to... Well, hold on. Might take a quick break, and... Where am I on the video? Yeah. When we return, we will finish this up and hopefully gives... Yeah, hopefully finish up the centrifuging. Thank you for your time. Have a good day, and good night. Bye-bye.